Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. I'm Ross Benjamin, professional sports handicapper from Western New York. And on the other side of me here is my cohort, who usually joins me on these Winner's Circles Sports Betting Podcast. That's Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Easy for me to say. In any event, Chipper, you're making a move to the East Coast for temporarily, right, Chip? So you're
I
leaving
usually go
tonight?
after. Well, Ross, usually I go to the Super Bowl, and then from there I go and spend the winter in Florida and come back to Las Vegas around August when the NFL starts. So it's nothing all that out of the ordinary, and I'm really looking forward to getting down there. And we'll be doing tomorrow's piece from Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, and Miami, wherever it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's ironic you went to all those Super Bowls and you spend time in Florida after the Super Bowl, and this year it was in Tampa, but unfortunately, there was a little bit of an obstacle or two to get tickets to that game, right? Unless you wanted to mortgage half your house to get it. So, in any event,
Yeah.
Chipper, always glad to have you aboard. How you been doing lately with the games?
I'm not bad at all. My college has really picked up. Really, I've went 4-1 Saturday and came back with another best bet winner Sunday over the weekend. And the NBA, I've hit a snag after doing so well. I've gone 2-6 in the last 3 days, but looking forward to a big night and a big weekend.
4-1 in college basketball yesterday, right? If I
Oh, that was yesterday was 3-2 in college basketball. I was 4-1 on Saturday and swept the board on Sunday. So I really have a pretty good feel for what's going on right now. The conference play is rolling along. These teams have already met each other at least once. So we have a little criteria, a little resume to work with. So I'm happy about what's going on right now.
Yeah, and myself as well. I had a nice NBA winner last night, Chipper, on the Denver Nuggets, -9.5, and they blew out
Great call.
Cleveland by 38. So it's
Yep.
always nice to not have to go like this after a game. So my NBA is coming along, 11-6 in my last 5 days with all my picks for sale. So things are good on both ends, Chip. And let's get to today. We are recording on Thursday, February 11th, folks. We're going to be discussing 3 specific games in the NBA for Friday the 12th. And then we're each going to give you an NBA free pick for Friday at the end of this podcast. So be patient. Let us discuss the games. Do yourself a favor. Listen to what we say. And hopefully you'll become a better, smarter sports bettor today than you were yesterday. And that goes for every episode you watch here of the Winner's Circle. So, Chip, let's get right at it. Let's start with the game between the San Antonio Spurs and the Atlanta Hawks. That game will be played in Atlanta, 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time tip-off on Friday. Right now, as we speak, Chipper, the Atlanta Hawks are a 2-point favorite, and the all of a sudden resurgent San Antonio Spurs, 228.5 is the total on this contest. Your initial thoughts?
Well, my feeling is, we know right now Atlanta got off to a great start, and they've been struggling of late. They've won 1 of their last 5, and just the opposite with the Spurs. They were off to a slow start, and now they've won 3 of their last 4. Spurs have played some pretty good basketball on the road so far. Ross, they're 7-3, and Atlanta's 6-7 at home, but they haven't been covering all that well. They are an anomaly here, and things that are going on is that Atlanta 6-0 in their last 6 times out as a favorite. And yeah, this is a team that struggles to win games. But on the other side of the coin, San Antonio 8-1 as road dogs, Ross. So trying to pick a side on this may be a really difficult task. One's going well and one's going bad, and the trends are conflicting. But there is one commonality between these two, and that both these teams play defense and stay under. San Antonio 15-10 to the under. Atlanta 16-8. You think with that Trae Young and the high-scoring offense, they don't have it really. They're 16-8 to the under, Ross. I think that would probably be the way to go.
Yeah, I'm going to have a free pick on the total, as a matter of fact, Chip, at the end of the show. So I don't want to dabble too far into that, but I think you're on the right track. And also, like I said, San Antonio's won 6 of their last 9 overall, while Atlanta dropping 4 of their last 5. They've lost 4 of their last 5 on the road, but they're at home tonight, so that's irrelevant. This might be the best coaching job that Greg Popovich has done since he's been in San Antonio. And that says a lot, right, Chip? I believe he's won 6 NBA titles since he's been the head coach there. But this team, I don't know about you, I looked at the record today and I said, whoa, San Antonio's 14-11. And you said it, they're a really weird split, 7-3 on the road, but just 7-8 at home or something along those lines. So much better road team than a home team. Any final thoughts before we move on?
No, I'd say let's move on.
Okay. Always a good suggestion. Anyway, New Orleans at Dallas, 7:35 p.m. Eastern time. Game will be played in Dallas, obviously. The Mavericks are a 2-point home favorite. The total in this game, 233.5. And you know, Chip, Dallas hasn't been very good at home this year. Well, New Orleans has really come on of late. Your thoughts?
Well, like you said, they're both starting to play better basketball right now. Dallas 12-14 on the year, 5-7 at home, like you said. New Orleans had won 4 in a row before they stopped off in Chicago, and the Bulls went up and smacked them the day before yesterday. Or yesterday, depending on when you're viewing and when we're doing this, actually. But this Williamson has added a lot of spark to this New Orleans team. They've gone 16-8 to the over. They have some offense now because he makes such a high percentage of shots, Ross. I mean, from the field, and he makes his free throws. So New Orleans is going to have a tendency to score a lot of points. Dallas has now won 3 in a row and 4 out of 5. They've been atrocious. I guess they're going to be forced to play the national anthem in Dallas tomorrow. What a pity.
Boy, oh boy.
I'm so sick of these political statements by professional sports teams. It's why I don't view as much ESPN in the games as much. But New Orleans 9-4 against teams with winning record on the road in their last 13, but they're only 3-8 as road dogs. You go figure. I can't get it. But this is a tough call here. You got 2 teams that are playing their best basketball of the season right now, and they're meeting each other. So Dallas has been really bad at home. So
yeah.
And New Orleans has been really, they're only 4-8 on the road straight up. So I'd have a tendency to want to take the points, but to tell you the truth, my gut here is that I think the Mavericks are coming to play here.
Yeah. It's a tough call. Just like the Atlanta game, the home team is a favorite of just 2 points. So basically, if you could pick the straight up winner in this game, you're in good shape. Especially if you have the underdog, obviously. But even as a favorite, I mean, not for nothing, you might want to even consider, if you like Dallas, looking at the money line in this game, like Chip likes to do when it's a small number. You mentioned Dallas at home. Yeah, 5-7 straight up and 2-10 against the spread at home this year. The New Orleans Pelicans, explosive offensively of late. Their last 5 games, Chipper, they're averaging 120 points per game while shooting 51.6% from the field and 42.4% from beyond the 3-point line. New Orleans has gone, like Chipper alluded to, they've gone over the total in 11 of their last 13 games. As a matter of fact, New Orleans has gone over in 11 of 12 this year after a game in which there was a combined score of 225 points or more. And that qualifies in this regard. Here's the thing to be careful if you're thinking of betting the over in this game. This is by far the Pelicans' highest total of the season, Chip. Their previous high was 231 in their last game, and it didn't stop them from going over the total. But we're at 233.5 here. And we see this a lot, right, Chipper? We see the adjustments made when a team is either playing over the total or under the total, and they just can't seem to make the totals high enough or low enough. So, they're hoping you go the other way here.
Yeah. I think they're sending a message as well. I always look to see which is the biggest total on the board, the lowest total on the board, the highest favorite, the lowest favorite, and trying to see if you can glean anything out of that. So the fact that it's going up tells me I think the odds maker believes that this game's probably going to go over the total as well.
So as far as Dallas at home, we made a point they're not very good at home. Now we're going to get the pundits that are going to chime in here. I know it's going to happen. They're going to say, Ross and Chip, Dallas has won their last 3 at home. Well, they have. But here's the thing. Those 3 wins came by a combined 8 points. They're not
There you
blowing
go.
people out. And guess what, folks? They're not playing very good defense as well. In those 3 wins, they scored 100, or they allowed, 117 points or more in each contest. Sooner or later, that's going to come up and bite you on the behind if you don't defend like that, Chip, especially against a team right now that's red hot offensively, like I alluded to in their last 5 games.
Yep. And, I always pay attention to the trends when the teams are playing hot like this, and the odds makers are telling you they're moving this number for a reason. So, I have to have faith in them.
Yeah, just buyer beware. Again, if you look at the statistics, the over seems like the obvious play, but keep in mind, they've elevated this total to take away some value in that regard.
Right.
That favorite word that Chipper loves, value. Milwaukee at Utah, 9:05 p.m. Eastern time. This is unequivocally going to be the best game on the board Friday night in the NBA. The Utah Jazz just on fire. And for the first time all season, Milwaukee will be an underdog, Chip, as Utah is a 1.5-point favorite in this game. The total is 232.5. And Chipper, Utah, 16-1 straight up and 15-2 against the spread in their last 17 games, yet they're just a 1.5-point favorite. Shows how much the books have respect for Milwaukee in that regard. But Milwaukee is coming off a loss, and are they in the middle of, 5th game of a 6-game and 10-day road trip as well, Chip?
But, you just mentioned the Bucks coming off a loss, 39-19 ATS after a straight up loss. Those are impressive numbers. They're 16-9 a season. Like I had spoken to you before and said how I thought the Bucks were pretty much going to sleepwalk through the regular season because of how they've been eliminating the playoffs the last few years. And I think they're concentrating on the postseason. But they are 5-1 against the number in their last 6. And Utah, what can we say about them? I mean, they're 9-1, 10-1 against the number at home. They're 6th in the NBA in offense, Ross. They're averaging over 114 points. The number 1 team in the NBA is Milwaukee at 121.5 points. And, you said that Utah comes up a small favorite at home. Usually when I see a team that's under a bucket and they're at home, I'm looking to fade that team.
Yeah.
But this is really, you know what I'm saying? My first
especially
instinct was,
as hot as Utah has been,
Right. And, but there may be another way to go with this. And I sincerely, I'm going to use this. The over in Milwaukee has gone 6-1-1 in their last 8. The over for Utah after a win is 30-12. So these teams, and also Utah has gone over. Let me check this out here. 7-3 when they're playing against teams with a winning percentage of over 60%. So it looks like they get psyched for the big games and the big opponents, and maybe their concentration's a little stronger. Usually, Ross, when this happens, I'm thinking the teams play a little tougher defense. But 6 out of the last 8 between these two has gone over the total. And that's how I think it's going to go. I'm going to play this one over. I think this is, like you said, unequivocally the best game of the day.
Yeah.
And I hope I get a chance to watch it. Of course, I'll be on a Miami Beach bar as I am, but I'll be watching it.
Anyway, boy, oh boy, you live the life of Riley. I want to be you when I grow up. And
Me too.
These teams did meet on January 18th, and Utah was a 131-118 winner at Milwaukee, easily going over the total, Chipper. Again, buyer beware with Milwaukee. They have gone 5-1 in their last 6, covered 5 of the last 6 as well. But remember, they're at a tail end of a long road trip here. They're coming off a loss. Chipper makes the point. They're very good coming off a loss. But they're going to be facing a Utah team that's playing real well. Chip, I watch Utah and I go, who's the star on this team? Okay, Donovan Mitchell is their star. And I think a lot of people on the East Coast aren't aware of how good this guy is. And he went off in the playoffs last year. And ordinarily, if the playoffs were played during the spring months like they normally are, a lot of people would have viewed it and saw it. But because they were played in the summer and the NBA playoff ratings were the lowest ever, again, I think this guy's an unheralded superstar, great player, and exciting to watch. But again, the over in this game, you got 2 teams that could really shoot the 3.
Yeah.
Utah especially. They were number 1 in 3-point makes last year, and they're right near the top again this year, Chipper.
Yeah, this Utah team was struggling, and they'd come into New York and they lost to the Knicks. and all of a sudden they had the Nets, and the Nets had just put it together. And they put it together in that game. I think they had 23 3-point shots that they made, and it's been Katie Bar-the-door since then. They just steamrolling everybody, and so this is going to be a great game. And I'll tell you, choosing a side on this is a really difficult task because the Bucks have started to play some basketball.
Yes, they have. Coming off a 125-124 loss at Phoenix on Wednesday night. I was going to say tomorrow, but if they're watching the video tomorrow, they're going to say,
right,
Ross, they played Wednesday, not Thursday. So got to cross the T's and dot the I's. Too much pressure, Chip. Anyway, before we get to our free picks, I would just want to remind you folks, you can get our best picks daily. You can get Chippers at chipwins.com. You could also get mine at rbwins.com. R for Ross, B for Benjamin, and wins like we both do on a consistent basis.com. All right, Chipper. Pressure. Talk about pressure. Give the folks a free pick for tomorrow night.
I think Milwaukee and Utah go over the total. They just seem that these teams like to run, they like to score, and they're both have been shooting the eyes out of the ball. And we've seen what Utah's doing. They're hot with the 3-pointers. And I think the game is supposed to go over the total. I think it's like I said before, usually when big opponents go against each other, I'm looking to play the under. But it looks like both these teams seem to get their dead eyes on when they're playing the better teams. So I'm going to play it over.
Yeah, based on their first meeting, you got a good point. 249 points scored. And like I said, the 3-point shooting is excellent from both teams. And the pace of this game should be right where it should be to produce a high-scoring, entertaining game. My free pick, Chip, I'm going to go in the San Antonio-Atlanta game. I'm going to go under the total, Chip. The total is 228.5. Yeah, thank you. Like you said, Atlanta has gone under the total in 16 of their 24 games this year. And that includes 13-3 to the under if the total is 224.5 or greater, which it will be on Friday evening. Also, San Antonio has gone under the total in each of their last 4 contests, Chipper. The average total in those 4 games for San Antonio was 226.5 or 226.5, just around where it is right now. And the combined score in those 4 games for San Antonio that all went under was 211.5 points per game. I'm going under the total here, Chipper. San Antonio and Atlanta under the total of 228.5. That's my free pick for Friday, February the 12th. And Chipper likes the game between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Utah Jazz to go over the total of 232.5. If you were with us for our picks last Friday, we gave it 2 free pick winners in college basketball. We'll have 2 more again tomorrow right here on this YouTube channel. We're going to be taping tomorrow night. So anytime after around 7 p.m. Eastern time, you could view that video again. We'll be giving you free picks for the huge college basketball board on Saturday. Any final thoughts before we leave, Chip?
Yeah, I'd like to wish all the people in California and they may not be able to attend Abraham Lincoln High School any longer. You can still wish them a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Abe.
Always something significant. Well, you have a safe flight, my friend, and we'll talk to you when you're on the other side of the planet or on the other side of the United States, I should say. And until then, I'm Ross Benjamin, and for Chip Chirimbus, you've been viewing the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a like, folks. It makes us happy. We're trying to make you happy with all these free pick winners. Until the next time, good luck and God bless.